What is going on, guys? It's your boy YKTV Frenchie, and y'all know the vibes. In today's video, we are gonna conclude the Turbo Civic video series. There is more stuff in the works for the Turbo Civic, so make sure you guys stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and do everything if you want to see more. But today I really want to talk about how I turboed my Civic with basically just Amazon parts. So Turbo Civic Amazon kit build, and we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna insert all the parts that I used from Amazon. There's only a few that I didn't, and then the downpipe and wastegate pipe I got custom fabbed. So I'm gonna talk about all the prices of the parts that I put in and if it was really worth turboing it. Alrighty guys, so you can see that this is the D16Y7 model, and it does not have the intake manifold nor the VTEC of the original Y8 one. So turboing it was kind of different because there wasn't that many videos on this type of Turbo Civic. So just to start off with, the most easy one is the exhaust manifold, the turbo manifold. And this was basically the hardest part to pick for the build because I wanted the turbo to sit on this side, because from what I was reading, if you put it vice versa side, you would have to cut a bit of the block. So I didn't want to do that. So I ended up going with this turbo manifold. I'll insert it. You can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy the exact same one on eBay. The eBay one for me was just, I think, around $70 cheaper, so I ended up going with this turbo manifold, and I sprayed it with the high temperature paint, and it still looks mint till this day. The next part is the max speeding rod turbo. It is a T4/T3 turbo, and it is a 0.63 AR. It was on sale, and this is what kind of sparked me to turbo the cars. I just said, fuck it, I might as well turbo the Civic. It was like $200 on sale, so I know now they might have probably increased a little bit in price, but still overall cheap. And then straight on the turbo, I obviously wanted to run a filter because this is my daily, and I do daily this every single day, and that's just a Spectre filter. It's like $30-$40. Moving on to the wastegate, another DNA part which you can get for around $80. Very cheap, pretty affordable. What I did do though is I unscrewed all these Allen keys, and I made sure to clean it all up. That was an issue for some people. And how I ran the wastegate, because it is an 8-pound spring, and since it's not tuned, I didn't want to go crazy with the PSI, because I didn't want to blow up my daily, and I still don't. So I put it on a boost controller. This is just a cheap $20 one, and then since my turbo didn't have a line for me to run it to, I ended up, I don't know if you guys can see, I ended up running it in the intercooler piping, and let's see if I can get it in there. Hopefully you guys can see, but in my videos building the car, you can definitely see me drilling out the intercooler piping and putting a little nipple on it, and it works perfect. I originally had it, the boost controller right over here, and I moved it over because it was overheating, and then it would overboost and get to like 8 psi. So now that's all solid and fixed. Moving on to the intercooler piping, I bought this general kit, and it was probably one of the more expensive things on the build. It was like around $200. I'll insert all the pictures and the prices of everything. So I decided to go black. I didn't really want to go silver. And it does come with 2 of these 90s, but I had to end up getting 2 more 90s just for the intercooler piping system to fit. This is also another DNA part. It is a blow-off valve, right now you can see the line is kind of long, and I'm going to trim that up probably right after this video. But insert the ad once again. It was $80. It comes with this and then this kind of T thing that you can put into the intercooler piping. So first off, when I initially put it in, it wasn't making very much noise, and I thought that was just because I was running low boost. So what I did was I took it all apart and I got the spring out of it, ended up painting it this grayish black, looks a lot better in my opinion, and I ended up cutting the spring, so now it opens up quicker and you can hear the surge, which is really awesome. Before I was just running turbo flutter. So yeah, this is basically the whole intercooler setup. And then the intercooler, I ended up going with another DNA part, $80 intercooler piping, or $80 intercooler itself. So it's a super cheap one, not the greatest quality. Just from dating it, you can see that the fins are kind of getting messed up already. Would like to upgrade to a Mishimoto one when I can afford it. Then we're going to talk about the injectors. So essentially everyone was telling me that I was going to need 250 or 240 cc injectors, else the car would bog bad. And I initially thought that as well, so I put in the bigger injectors. And I think maybe because no tune, that the car was running horrible with the bigger injectors. So I ended up putting back stock injectors, and the car starts up a lot better, runs a lot smoother, and still gets the Honda Civic gas mileage. And then the last thing that you guys need is the oil parts. I ended up using another DNA kit for the feed and then the sandwich plate, but I ended up getting a custom line made for it. Let's see if I can get it in there. Yeah, see that blue line? I'll maybe zoom into it, but I got that at Make a Hose, another $40 or $50 thing, so it wasn't that bad priced. And then the last thing is the exhaust part. I ended up getting this exhaust pipe welded in. I still kept the one O2 sensor, and then the very top O2 sensor I am not running, which is alright. I'm not too worried about it. There is a dash light on it, but it's not the biggest deal for me. And then you got the wastegate pipe, and it just drops straight down. So yeah, guys, if you guys are thinking about turboing a Civic, definitely recommend it. I've had not that many issues with it, and it's been pretty fun. Other things that I do have on the car is just the boost gauge. I'll show you guys quickly. So here's the boost gauge, and it does have that carbon fiber little cap on it. Once again, this is like the cheapest boost gauge I would find at the time, so I just bought it. And then this casing, just so it looked a lot better. So guys, I'm gonna give you guys a conclusion on, was it worth it turboing my Honda Civic? Yes, I definitely think turboing my Honda Civic made the car a lot more fun as a daily. I still do, on half a tank, get roughly 200 kilometers for a tank. And in comparison to my coupe, I was around getting 225, 230. But also, I don't know how true that is, because I do have a little bit more fun in this car. And I do have a bit of a heavier foot now that the car is turboed. But overall, I think if you're just trying to learn how to turbo a Civic, or just trying to learn how to turbo a car in general, great platform too. It was expensive, but everything car related is expensive, so make sure you're not going to think that it's only going to cost you $1,000 to turbo the Civic. Once you start adding little things like oil, sandwich plate, oil drain lines, oil feed lines, blow off valve, intercooler piping, all that stuff adds up. Exhaust piping adds up. Yes, I could have ran hood dump exhaust, but as I said, I do have this as a daily, so it's better the quieter the sound, so I don't get attention and the cops aren't constantly butthurt at your boy. But yeah, guys, if you guys like the overall breakdown video of the Turbo Civic. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my older videos. More banger content is coming on the way, so always stay tuned and always get fired up. It's your boy YKTV signing off. Peace.